Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. I send you love and prayers and hugs during this holiday. Always, actually, but seems like we're going to be needing a little bit more prayers this season. There is some really crazy stuff going on out there. There's uh, suicides, there are people shooting each other. It's just nuts out there. And as I'm going, as I usually do every day, I go through the headlines and see what's going on. And I'm looking around and I'm thinking, oh, please, there's so much that goes on around holiday season. We don't understand what kind of medicine people are on. We don't understand what other people are going through, the types of things that go on during the holiday season. And it just seems like people are just going absolutely bat crap cray cray. And they are. I mean, when you start shooting your neighbors and burning houses down and going into a hospital and shooting folks up, and I mean, any of that's just plumb craziness, and we know it is. But the thing is that I am forced to do this video right now to warn you all ahead of time. This ain't all of it. Folks are going to, for whatever is triggering people right now, there's going to be some more craziness. Man, we need to keep our own core values. We need to stay strong in this. We need to stay calm with this. We do not need to get our emotions all tangled up and everything go and be drawn into the craziness. Now, we must pray for these folks. We must pray that this stuff doesn't get any worse than it already is. But I mean, across the world, there was another bombing. There are more people that are dying. I mean, and so this isn't just in the United States, but we're seeing things around us. Hi, Supernatural. Um, and I'm just, Spirit's asking me, say, let's talk to each other about this ahead of time because, Black Friday's coming up. Folks are going to be, they act nuts around Black Friday. People pushing, shoving, people have gotten hurt, seriously hurt, being trampled to death and things. And, this is just plumb stupid. We're smarter than this as a society. Now, we should all care for one another, and I'm always about that. But at the same time, we can't get our emotions involved in what's going on. It will drag us all down. We've got to stay calm in this. Send our prayers, send our energy, weep for a moment for the families lost, but we got to stay calm in this. We can't go off in left field. We can't let whatever is going down for whether it's some kind of mind control. People are being triggered in all kinds of weird ways. And this has kind of triggered me in a way to say, I've been talking about this, please, we've got to keep our emotions out of this. We can have empathy. We always send our love and our compassion, but do we need to tie our own energy up in what is going on? And the answer, they're telling me, they're screaming at me right now going, tell folks, no, we need to stay calm during this. We can't help each other if we're all upset. We've got to be strong in this. Yes, please pray. Yes, use meditation, whatever it takes. Yes, do what you can for other people, especially during this time. I did a video the other day about suicide and how we need to reach out to people. And sometimes these folks, they like to cry wolf and, well, I want to commit suicide. And you say, yeah. And after a while, you just give up on them. This is not a time to do that. And if if you know somebody that's acting a little weird, speak up, call them, call somebody else and say, look, I'm not sure about this person here. But we got to be the grown up in the room, as I keep talking about, in that we need to be able to lovingly do these things. I'm not saying you need to call the SWAT team in, but is there someone who could possibly defuse the situation if you're hearing a friend, a relative, a neighbor, somebody's acting weird. One of the kids are talking about my dad. He's been playing with his gun the other day. I don't know, or mother or uncle or whatever, this has nothing to do with gender. And it seems to have nothing to do with age. Old people, I watched an interesting video, and one of the new suicide analysis kind of things was that of all the high rate of suicide, get this, was among atheist men. Seriously, and I'm like, what? Atheist men score if committing suicide has a score. That's weird. Sorry about that. I didn't quite mean it that way, but you know what I mean. That more white, well, not necessarily white, but predominantly white atheist men were the highest rate of these current suicide victims. And I'm like, you know what? I spoke about this in a video the other day. I think it was on Facebook. And I keep telling people, it's not about religion, it's about spirituality. And a lot of these atheists have not learned that they can be very spiritual without having to tote around the Bible or the Quran or the Bhagavad Gita, which is 3 volumes, I might add, or a book on Confucius. That's not about it. It's what our core values that are ancient. People want to talk about New Age, and I'm saying, yeah, some of this New Age stuff, though, is ancient. It's thousands of years old, and the teachings and being able to tie into the source energy in the universe. These are ancient teachings. And some folks are like just now picking it up. And of course, the media and people, I'm probably, logged in there somewhere about being a New Ager, but I'm not. I've studied ancient shamanism and Buddhism and so forth. And what we're going through now with this age of enlightenment is ancient. This isn't new. It's packaged new and it's repackaged new, and somebody else is learning about it. That makes it New Age because we're in a new age. So, but be careful with the terminology of things. And I'm saying, protect yourself from these things ahead of time. People are getting knocked off the air. I was watching Carrie Cassidy and Project Camelot, and they're right in the middle of a conversation with Holy Demogod, and there goes the screen. Everybody got knocked off. Now they're trying to fix it, but that's not the point. Anytime Holy Demogod starts, talking about his stuff, they don't like it, and I've been knocked off the air with Milky Way Weekly talking about some things. So this stuff exists. But the thing is we need to be calm during all of this. They're going to try to shut some of this down. They're going to try to amplify and agitate some of these other things. I mean, I listened to the concession speech and some of this stuff here in Georgia. They finally, Brian Kemp is the governor, and Stacey Abrams is having a fit. We should have had it. The Republicans stole it from us. And I'm here to tell you, from what I've already discussed in a previous video about some of the craziness just here within our own county. And I'm telling you, these weren't white aristocratic Republicans who showed up in great numbers at the polls. And when you listen to the rhetoric of this Stacey Abrams lady, I just listen to her. Then I look and then I watch her and I'm like, oh my God, I really would not vote for that woman. It's her manner, her rhetoric, what she's speaking about. We Democrats are going to take over Georgia. And I'm like, what? Nobody's taking over anything. You're supposed to be running for office. And it's like, and they blame the Republicans for wanting to be the bad guys. And I'm like, and I'm sorry, but I was Democratic for many years. And I'm like, what's going on here? And she's trying to incite folks to get all pissed off. But when you look at the map of Georgia, it was Atlanta, a little bit around Macon, some down near Savannah, and where there are a lot of Black populations and so forth. I'm not knocking the Black population, but that's the way it is. And so, but the rest of us voted for Kemp for a good reason. He's been in office, and she talks about the voter rolls, for example, and complaining that he fixed the voter rolls. Listen, my brother used to live here. I've had 2 ex-wives, and the last time I went in to vote, both of those were still on the rolls. They should be wiped from the rolls. Neither of them live here, haven't lived here in 15 or 20 years. They're trying to clean who doesn't live here any longer or has changed precincts and wiped them off the voter roll. So there can't be fraud. And this lady's like, oh, he created this incident so that me being a black woman and, oh, I feel so, oh, I'm a slave and I'm gonna take over the state of Georgia. Oh, honey, oh, please. Your rhetoric is what turns me off right there. That doesn't have anything. She hasn't spoke anything about policies. Well, we're going to have, Medicare for everybody in the state of Georgia, and the state's going to pay for it. I'm sorry, taxes are already too high in the state of Georgia. There is a Georgia income tax state. There are all other kinds of state taxes. Now, I got to say, we've got the best roads of any state I've ever been in, and I've driven across the United States and back. And I got to say that the roads in Georgia, and it's been said by many people who have visited here, go, man, you folks in Georgia, you guys got some really good roads here, and we do. And I'm, some of the times that now I haven't been back down in Tampa in several years, but I went down there when I was down there, and I realized that some of those roads were bad when I lived there in the 70s, and they're still there. They haven't overpaved them. They haven't even fixed the potholes. I'm like, what? But the state of Florida doesn't have an income tax. But so one could complain that one's better than any other. But the point is that here's this lady wants to raise the Georgia income tax so everybody in the state will have Medicare. Now, I believe we all should have hospitalization and all that kind of thing. I mean, but we're too rich of a nation to not be able to do this. Now, the state of Tennessee fixed that by adding a sales tax. But if you were on food stamps or on welfare or were retired and on limited income, you were exempt from that sales tax. So only those folks who worked, and I don't know, it was a 2 or 3% tax increase. But the people in the state when I was there, now I haven't been to Tennessee in a while, but they've worked it out through a sales tax issue through the state, so that folks who purchased more and could afford it actually paid more tax into the social system of healthcare for everybody, at least with a minimum amount of decency. So it's like, okay. But for this lady to scream and jump up and down and, that the rest of us are wrong. And I'm sorry, but, had I been a Democrat during this election, I still would not have voted for her because of her rhetoric and I'm sorry. Oh, but she's a black female. Oh, and you want to hold that against me? I'm here that ain't got nothing to do with it. It has to do with her intelligence. It has to do with her ad campaign. It has to do with the fact that oh my God, she almost sounds Hitlerian or something like that. It's like, we're going to, seize the state. We're going to take over the state. These are in her speeches. And I'm like, I'm sorry. How about we win the state? How about, we're going to do that? We're going to take over the state. We're going to, okay, I'm all for, but this is supposed to be the progressive, the aggressive progressives. And I'm like, if this is your idea of aggression, you're pissing me off. And a lot of the people and a lot of the ideals, I still have feelings in that area, but you folks are going about it all wrong. And you're trying to draw me into some more chaos of yours. I'm going to be emotionally involved in this. And I just look at it and go, this is really stupid. So we need to look at what's going on and how the media is always trying to play some kind of crappy game with our brains. Now, there's some really nasty stuff going on out there, and even some of this election fraud. And I continue to say, I don't care who wins, but I want to know the truth about who voted for whom. I don't want any more hanky-panky shenanigans. We found another, bag of ballots or something. From Al Gore in 2000, they found dangling chads after 18 years. Are you serious? I'm not quite sure if that story is true, but it has come out that it is. I mean, that right there should warn us all. Oh crap, something's wrong in the mix here. You know, and there's a lot more of this stuff about the climate change, and people are trying to pick on Trump about his remarks about climate change, for example. Of course, the climate change. This is Mother Earth. We're in a solar system traveling at 73,000 miles an hour through space in the Milky Way galaxy. Of course, the climate's going to change, but they want to blame it on us. The amount of volcanoes going off right now, and the California wildfires, and some of the other shenanigans that are going on the planet, and you want to say it's you and me driving our cars? And they still want to tax it. They want to throw a carbon tax on us. Carbon is what trees like. Trees eat carbon. Grass and nature uses carbon to be a part of nature. They need it for photosynthesis. If they don't have enough carbon, that's not the issue. What about the sulfur dioxide being spewed out by these volcanoes? Anybody talking about that? What does sulfur dioxide do when it hits the ground, or when you try to breathe it in, or anybody talking about that? No. What about all these other chemicals that are seriously in our atmosphere? They want to drag us in again because Trump's an idiot, and he's not. Do your own homework. I knew this long before Trump was elected, that this climate nonsense, that it's you and me that we're the culprit. Now, let's get a little bit more in detail in that. But they're trying to blame it all on this fuel and that fuel. And yeah, we're doing some rotten things to the earth to get oil out. And yes, there are a lot of other things we could do to power our vehicles. Hydrogen has been around for a long time. It's in the air, it's in water. I mean, come on, guys. And so they want to say, well, nuclear fuel's the best. No, it's not. Oh, well, fossil fuels, blah, blah, blah. Okay, they're trying to drag you into the chaos. So we need to stay strong. We need to stay bold. Don't argue about it with your relatives over the holidays. Just don't do it. It ain't worth the argument. You can mention something, and what about this? But if you think that you're going to walk back into your family and demand that they all listen to your side of the story, just don't have the argument. There's a kinder and easier way to do this, because you just point out, well, is that really true? Well, look how much one volcano spews out. There's that one, a Fuego volcano down in Guatemala. I did a video on that yesterday. And guess what? It's spewing, it's live, it's throwing stuff out. And people in America want to wonder why those people in Guatemala want to get out. Now, is the caravan the answer? I don't agree. But one of the things that is they're trying to stress people out. I'm pointing these things out because they're trying to draw you in. Now, the people who are coming up from Guatemala, I'm not sure if they've made it past Mexico City. But now they're saying the migrants are in Tijuana. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. If they were south of Mexico City, the closest route would have been to Laredo, Texas, Brownsville area, up along in there, Nogales, New Mexico. What are these quote migrants? How are they showing up in Baja, California, and trying to cross the desert south of San Diego? What? How'd they get there? That's thousands of miles, and across Mexico and across and then up all the way. Wait a minute. Hang on. Are these the same migrants that were south that came out of Guatemala? How in the hell did they get to California? Are these the same people is my question. Or is this another group? But to the point, though, they're raising all this stuff when actuality, the people from Guatemala, we really seriously need to ask, if they were south of Mexico City a week ago, how in the hell did they get to California? Just ask the question. Is it the same people? Are these folks playing with our minds? Oh, you betcha. Trying to draw us in. Now, I firmly believe that we should have our own troops on our own damn border. I know people who have crossed from Mexico up here into South Georgia, work at local restaurants and different places here as painters and carpenters, all working under the table, all getting paid less money than the rest of us. I lost business years ago because of all this Mexican influx. They're crossing the border illegally. They're crossing it through, there are a few parts in Texas, but they're usually coming up through New Mexico. And people who say that this doesn't happen, open your eyes. It's all over down here. I mean, most of the Mexicans that got here crossed the desert and paid some coyote thousands of dollars to get them across the border and drop them off in the middle of the desert. This is serious, folks. We should have our own troops down there. Okay, so string barbed wire. None of them should be crossing our border back and forth. I'm sorry. They make the money here, save it, and then send it back to Mexico. Now, if you're going to make money in America, well, it's my choice if I make money and want to send it to a relative in another country. But to the point, though, they're not spending it here. Nope. They live like monks for 6 months, save up a bunch of money, go back to Mexico legally because they can get back into Mexico, spend 6 months there, work, feed their family, do their thing, and then cross illegally back into the United States and do it all over again. This has been going on for at least 20 years down here in South Georgia. People pay attention. Now, should these people be arrested or whatever? No, but some of these people that I've known personally, tried to get green cards, and it was the government that refused them during Obama, I might add. And so it's like, I listened to the rhetoric of this Stacey Abrams lady, and she's saying anyone should be able to vote, including illegal immigrants in the state of Georgia. And I'm like, no, lady. No, I'm sorry. And she wants that here in the state of Georgia. Wait a minute. Hang on. How did some of these votes happen? Were some of these people illegals and they were voting on her side? Because she's saying, well, everyone should vote. No, not everyone should. The Brian Kemp, the now current governor currently, he was the elections board commissioner. And guess what? He said, all you have to do is take your driver's license, enter the information on any computer or any cell phone, and you can register to vote. You don't even have to go anywhere. And Stacey Abrams is complaining that Brian Kemp made it too difficult for potential voters in the state of Georgia to register. Are you serious? So, I mean, it's like, okay, they're trying to draw us in. And I'm a little agitated about this right now. And I'm making this video, not because it really bothers me, but I'm sitting here looking, but there are so many people getting pissed off at each other when need to look at the actions of this lady, regardless of her race or color or that she's female. Shame on you people. Well, she's female and black. I'm voting. No, come on. Don't be stupid. What's her intelligence quotient? I'm sorry. You're going to run the state of Georgia and you're the governor and you can't answer certain simple questions. You go off like a Hillary Clinton on a rhetoric spiel. I'm sorry. And you want the people in the state of Georgia to revolt up about this? You're going to lose that one. Sorry, don't go there. And we should have taken over this. Be careful what you wish for, lady. And these people need to stop talking this horse manure. And I speak about the state of Georgia. I live here, okay. I can't speak about Arizona because I don't live in Arizona. I know people out there, been through the state, but I live in Georgia. I can talk about this crap. And this is what's going on. And I see friends and family and folks and like, well, you this, and I'm a Democrat and you're a, Just stop this party line thing. Listen to what the lady says. You want her as the governor because she's a woman and black. That's like people who want to vote Hillary Clinton in 2020. Are you serious? Well, let's not go there. But my point to all of this is they're trying to ramp the chaos up. We've been talking about it for a while, that they're just the chaos, people being triggered. This is the holidays. They're doing suicides, killing folks, burning houses down, breaking into hospitals, shooting people up. This is nuts. If you have a license to carry, carry one. If you if you don't have if you've not had firearm training, get it. Now, I don't carry a firearm. I know how to use one. They took my rights away when they busted me for pot. Okay, now I'm a felon and I can't own a firearm. Well, I never was a pistol person, but I would like to have my shotgun back for rodents and things. And I live in the woods and a swamp. Duh. But anyway, but if you need to be able to protect yourself, because if you're in a situation and some idiot breaks out and wants to start shooting the place up, draw your gun and drop them. Go for the headshot. I'm sorry. Don't just try to wound them. Go for the kill shot. Drop these crazy people, because whatever has triggered in them to start shooting in the first place, they are not in complete facility of their brains. They have gone temporarily insane for whatever the reason may be. And that's not the point. At the moment they start pulling that trigger, they're not in their right whatevers. Okay. Because normal folk don't do that. And so with all these triggers and things going on right now, hey, tinfoil, Stephen Kennedy, Supernatural still hanging out with me. But, people are already talking about Black Friday. This is a couple of days away. And it's like, there are going to be stampedes everywhere. And I'm like, why? I just look at, okay, so you get a deal. But why is this stampeding and rushing in the stores? We've gone nuts. So how do you avoid that? Don't go. Or go later on in the afternoon. Well, all the good stuff's gone. I'm sure they'll find something for you on Black Friday to sell you, because that's what they want to do, is sell you something. So, but fighting over something and all this, oh man, come on. So I say, grab your popcorn. There's going to be some interesting stuff going on. Keep your emotions out of it as much as possible. Keep your inner core and your faith above all. And my Thanksgiving prayer, I'll end it with this, is that every single human being on this planet gets fed. That everybody has a meal, whether it be turkey or a can of beans. I hope everyone gets fed on Thanksgiving. That's my prayer. So with that said, I close with my usual prayer. I wish everyone of you to accept and receive the healings, the knowledge, and all of the wisdom from Creator. The source is always there. It's always all around us. And all we need to do is accept it and use it to heal and to spread the knowledge. So blessings to all of you with this coming season. And on Thanksgiving, invite somebody you don't know who might be hungry, or at least fix them a plate. Do something out of the ordinary. I think I'm going to have sauerkraut and sausage. I need to go get some potatoes so I can make some real mashed potatoes. I don't do boxed mashed potatoes. I'm sorry, but I don't have any fresh potatoes. So I'm thinking mashed potatoes and sauerkraut and sausage. I haven't had that in a while. Sounds like a good German Christmas holiday thing. Anyway, I'm sorry, Thanksgiving. So wherever you may be, find what pleases you best and fix it. Does it have to be a traditional turkey dinner? No. Why not bake a chicken? Or why have meat at all? I just happen to want some sauerkraut and sausage, and sounds like that's a good idea for Thanksgiving for me, because I'll probably spend it by myself, which isn't an issue, but, I'm just like, okay. But, to each his own in where you're at. And I know that people get depressed because, well, I can't have a traditional turkey dinner. So then don't. Just have dinner. Invite folks over for a meal. That's what Thanksgiving is supposed to be about. Does it have to be traditional? And if you don't freak out about it. Tell your friends, look, I can't do the turkey thing, but we've got a really good meal plan. Bring a plate. Let's have a potluck. You bring the pie, you bring the taters, you bring the sweet tater pie. Ooh, sweet tater pie. When y'all eat sweet potato pie over this Thanksgiving, you think of me and add a little extra whipped cream just for me. But with that said, so wait, Melanie, somebody else come in. Consumerism is becoming, Supernatural says consumerism is now becoming consuming ourselves to death. Absolutely. Blessings back to you, Miss Melanie. Tinfoil, I just caught you. Stephen, yep. I don't know where my glasses are, but anyway, I wasn't planning on this. This was one of them things where it was just like, I got to just come on, guys, remember, and spread the calm too. It's like, it's okay. Yes, we should pray and feel bad for folks for some of these nasty things that are going on, but we need to keep our emotions within ourselves. That's how we stay strong during this. So, with that said, more blessings, everybody. Continue to be safe. And man, if you want to brave, Black Friday, you go right ahead. But I think I'm going to be in my canoe or something. I ain't going near that kind of people that are that kind of crazy. So just saying, they will have deals on Saturday or later on the evening on the Friday. But okay, so be safe, everybody. Until next time, I'm out of here with butt cramps and needing coffee.